Hello everyone, welcome back to Chapter 3 of Fire Emblem 6 Ranked. Today, I am blessed to be blabbering alongside the equally benevolent and brilliant Altissimo for this one. Hello, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
Alright, Myrnus, put all your stuff away. You're not fighting. Oh, never mind, you are fighting. You're bringing the lance. I guess you're giving them to these people. It's always interesting to do like battle preps without battle preps, figuring out how to get weapons on people while they're already in a battle. And
yeah, I actually enjoy that a lot. It's one of the few reasons I like FE1, which a lot of people are complaining about the jank inventory system. I'm like, no, actually, it makes it interesting to have to figure out what you're doing.
I like that too until I have to actually deal with it, and then I stop.
Fair enough.
It. We got Arch on the front line. We got Boars on a solo adventure to the top. I always want to do that, and then I realized that his Armor Knight exterior is a bit misleading, and he does actually die if he goes on his own. So I have to bring some friends along. And deal with the soldier swarms, which are the favorites of Wade and Lot, I'm sure.
Yep.
Okay, alright. Oh, get that archer off the front line, it's very smart. And Marcus gets a javelin back, finally. Ooh. You don't want that vuln, Marcus? You don't want to heal? Okay, fair enough. That's Ellen's job after all.
Yeah, I prefer not using vulneraries.
Oh, true. That is your thing. That is your thing. Gotta get that funds rank.
I do use them, but yeah, both funds rank and because healing is a source of EXP. Obviously, there are some cases where I do have to, bite the bullet and do it, but generally speaking, I don't really want them.
Yeah, if only one person is damaged in the first place, that you want to heal with Ellen, but sometimes, sometimes in the Fire Emblem 6, the Binding Blade for the Game Boy Advance, multiple units end up getting damaged.
I know, it's crazy how that happens.
Crazy concept.
You really got to be prepared for everything in this game.
Damn, we really have to fight multiple enemies at once, huh? Insane concept.
I don't know if my brain can handle it.
We'll see how you fare. So we have Chad this time, and I'm guessing he counts as unpromoted, even though he literally cannot promote, so you're gonna raise him to 20 as well?
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna get experience for stealing and stuff anyway, so might as well just include all the thieves as part of the thing. And they get boosted EXP for battles.
True.
So it's not
overly
difficult. I say that, but we haven't met, one particular thief yet.
Oh god,
so.
Yeah. Chad is gonna be a handful for sure with what is it, like 3 base strength and E rank swords or something like that. And he gets waved down.
He's got 50% strength growth.
That's true. He does have good growth. He can actually go somewhere. I just wish, at the very least, that he could level to 30, like say Julian from the DS entries, because the level cap.
Oh yeah, I forgot they could do that.
He just kind of gets a ceiling and he just stops growing, even if you get him there.
It's not like he can use S rank weapon either, because he can't promote. It's like with all that strength, at the end of the game, even if you were using him for combat for some reason, he would still be stuck to like silver swords.
Yeah, you could spend you could solo the game and still be like, Durandal, I don't know how to use that, I'm sorry. Give it to Rutger instead. I don't know what to do with this. I'm surprised you were like not tempted into feeding that kill to him like just now. You fed it to Shanna instead. I was like, wow.
I have lots of opportunities to get kills on Chad.
Oh, that's true, because he's semi-force deployed, like soft force deployed for a lot more maps, I guess, than Shanna. That makes sense.
Yeah. And Shanna also has the whole flying thing, which takes away from her ability to gain experience sometimes.
Yeah. It's like she can do a lot of things, and they don't all involve getting kills. That makes a lot of sense, too. Like blocking reinforcements, or rescue dropping someone, or getting a village. Yeah, that makes sense. Ooh, Wade playing risky. But he's gotta get the kills somehow, and these are
the only enemies he can fight.
Yeah, and he's not even one-running. He's not even one-running them a lot of the time too. It's kind of sad. Boris is doing.
At least Boris is hitting with a javelin.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good. There's like 2 soldiers there, one with an iron lance, one with a javelin. Like if you use the javelin, you're probably gonna hit neither, but it looks like you can counterattack theoretically, right? So on paper, he can fight them with a javelin. But I'm surprised he's doing well on his own. I was expecting you to like split the kills a bit more.
I mean, it would make sense. Just I need for Boris to do better.
Yeah, he's not a unit you want to deploy more than you have to. I'm surprised you have enough unit slots to like feed everyone that you're getting. You already have so many people that you're going to feed, and after chapter 5, you have to actually choose between them. So I guess you just gotta make the most of these like scrubs, like Boris, while you have them.
Yeah, that's part of the thinking behind trying to feed the fighters and Wolf and stuff, is because it's like, well, they're free at the moment in Boris. Because they're free at the moment. You might as well like do the most you can, which is I think there's probably some sort of mathematical formula you could make for this, but this isn't the most efficient way to get them kills because the EXP yields are going to be like capped because of the fact that you're basically on level parity with the opponents. Whereas if I were to find a way to feed a promoted enemy much later in the game to one of the underleveled units, you know, that's giving them 100 EXP per kill. So it's like, it's not even the most efficient way to feed them, but it might as well do it while we can, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, with a lot of these, I expect you have to do that anyway. Like, you have to do both. Feed them a bunch here and feed them stuff later to get more XP.
Yeah.
But I suppose Boars is one of those people that you probably would have the hardest time feeding promoted kills to, whereas, I'm trying to think of like a good, you know, I guess like Rutger, for example. The best way to use him is probably to have him kill enemies all game long, but if you have to bench him sometimes, might as well bench him early, and then later on it's easier to feed him kills, because he's relatively good at having stats. Ooh, poor, that's a close one, buddy. Be careful. We only have one of you.
He is one of the few characters, however, that has Vulnerate.
Yep. He's got can't exactly have Ellen up there.
Right.
That would not be
We only
good.
have the one here.
Alright. Wade risks his life for the XP and gets rewarded. Very good.
It's fine.
Reward.
My catchphrase from FE7 coming back, it's fine!
He's getting rewarded.
Alan's healing output is so tragic, though.
Oh yeah, that's a big issue. You do get a mensch from that village that Murnus is going to, which makes it a bit better. I'm assuming you're willing to use that if need be.
Yeah, it gives a little bit more
It
experience.
gives one more.
Not very much, but it's there.
Uh-huh. You could, I mean,
yeah.
You could do the Ellen Clarine special where they have like someone like Wade at 1 HP, you heal them and then you mend them for maximum experience.
Ooh, yeah, I'm not sure if I thought to do that at any point, but that is certainly a thing you can do to get that 21 experience instead of whatever else, or just 11.
Yeah,
whatever.
I think it's 23, which is still miserable. Like, there's games where healing XP is more like 20 at a time. I think the Last Promise, for example, that silly ROM hack.
Yeah.
That's you
Which
get 24
is
heal
hilarious because you can get level 20. What was it, Tomiko?
Yeah.
You can get level 20 Tomiko before even leaving Siegfried mode.
Yeah, and she's still trash, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sarah and Ellen wish they had that massive experience again. Clarine too as well. Sol as well.
Yeah.
It's so slow. Alright, Boris, keep trying. Your combat rank must be suffering so bad right now. Like, you're not one-running anything, but sometimes you're like, it takes 3 guys to kill 1 enemy, which is slightly lower than what you need to be.
Yeah, like, the combat rank is just difficult to maintain until you get to a point where you can stop deploying scrubs and start deploying juggernauts.
Yeah.
Which,
is that,
depending on how you play this run, could be anywhere from, like, when you get Rutger to the end of the game.
I'm surprised to hear you imply that you ever get to such a point. I feel like there's always more scrubs to feed in this game. Like, always.
It's close. You'll see, it's close.
I do know in FE7 there was eventually a point where a lot of people did actually start capping. And I suppose in this game at least, I think the XP penalty is less harsh than Hector Hard mode. So it's never
100%.
as miserable. And I mean, at some point you just cap them. Plus, like, I'm saying this as if we keep getting this deluge of scrubs every chapter, but honestly, after early game, you don't really get many people per chapter at all. You get like 5 in chapter 8, and it kind of just stops, like the massive unit joining. And then a lot of units that join in the mid game are better. Like, we made fun of Geese earlier, but like Gonzalez and I don't know who else exists in the mid game. Like a lot of people modes there. Diaz not so bad. Zeus is not so bad. Like, they have their issues, but they're not Boars.
Right.
So this is probably as bad as it gets, I guess. But it's also when the game is at its hardest with the enemy quality.
Yeah. If I were to fix FE6, like if I were to make some sort of balance patch or something, I wouldn't do much because I think the game is alright as it is. But
Perfect.
I would give the Rapier back the effectiveness against Nomads and Troubadours. I would fix that broken starting position thing for this chapter. Because I think you know about that it's not supposed to be using the formation that it is for this chapter when you start.
I mean, I know I hate the formation because it puts all the good units in the back, but I didn't know it was actually intended to be different.
It's a glitch, because they referenced the wrong thing when, like, assigning units to spots. But there's actually like a different one in the code that you know puts them in a better position.
Does it? Is it using like what they're doing in the cutscene or something? And then
No, it has to do something like with like they're trying to assign spots to unit IDs, but they screw it up and like do it to something that's not IDs. I don't remember the specifics.
That's so odd. I've never heard of this, but I'm always interested in interesting trivia.
I'll see if I can find it for you later. You can post it in the comments or something.
Surely I'll remember it.
I think I've got support was there, but I'm not taking it because I have to kill this knight.
Oh, I didn't know Lot faced crit from enemies sometimes. I saw that Armor had 1% crit on him. That's kind of
FE6 moment.
Yeah, I don't remember if FE6 any units are particularly bad at luck. Are you facing crit rates a lot? Oh, wow.
No, but I mean they never really go away, and some of your units, no matter what you do, will just never get their own like crit value unless they're using a killer weapon.
Yeah. I have noticed that. Or they're getting supports, I guess. That's one way to get crit rates. Or get the killer weapons from Chapter 13. That's a good way to do it.
Killer weapons are great. There's just, like, half the time there's just no reason to use, silvers or anything, because the killer weapons, obviously they crit, but they're also usually more accurate.
It can also just be a challenge to even make it to the A rank for silver. Like, considering how much better killers are, generally speaking. Oh, shit! Speaking of supports,
there we go.
We got it. I think weight is thunder. No, weight is fire and lot is anima. I think that's how it is. So that's like 2 hit for both of them. Very cool. No attack at sea, but full avoid, I guess. So they will dodge as they're trying to hit an enemy with the halberd, I guess.
Boris has finally taken out the archer.
Yeah, I was wondering if he didn't just want to like go to that house, ask for help. There might be a friendly mage inside, but no, he's just like, oh, I got this. I got this.
No, why would he go to the orphanage and ask for help?
It's kind of rude, that's true. Hey, is anyone inside, like, capable of using weapons or totems to help me out here? Like, I know I'm an armored knight and everything.
I know this is run by a priest who's probably like a pacifist.
Uh-huh.
Or something, but... How convenient. We got a mage.
Yeah, that's very much in position. There's probably ways to, like, get enemies to hug the wall so that Luke can fight them at some point. I've also had, like, enemy cavaliers loop around the other side to get to that point, but I feel like this is not one of those moments, one of those timelines.
It's not, unfortunately. As much as I would have liked to start giving Lucen kills, there's not really a feasible way to do it without kind of overhauling how I've set this chapter up entirely, which I don't want to do.
But surely Lu is like basically Wolf's Plus for you, right? Like it's an accurate chip to set up kills or to get a kill on another unit if you ever have one spare.
Yeah. I like Lu. Obviously he's kind of mid, honestly. Like a lot of people will swear by him, but honestly he's not great. But I like mages in general, so I'm glad to have one, and I'm glad to have extremely accurate fire tomes. As well as magic damage that just isn't resisted as often.
Yeah, I think Lu is definitely bound to get overrated by some people just because fire is so accurate and everything else kind of isn't, like Thunder and Hellfire not as good. And before he promotes, he actually gets like one killed or doubled by a lot of enemies that you wouldn't expect him to be. Like he's definitely more likely to get wrecked than like Urk or Loot or something like that. Yeah. But he does have a really good promotion bonus. If I recall correctly, he gets like 4 magic upon promoting, which is... It's not going to let him one-round KO anything but like Wyverns with their caliber, but it's a big boost for sure, especially for someone who's likely to get doubling at that point.
Yeah. Now promotion bonuses in FE6 are so sick. Every time I get one, it like salivating. It's like, oh, look at all those stats.
Which is what a promotion is supposed to be. It's not like it's supposed to be like FE7 where you just are.
FE6 or FE7 would be so much more broken if they had FE6 bonuses, though. True. To be fair,
just give the same bonuses to enemies. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, maybe that would have made the game a little more balanced.
These Cavaliers, they have the regular harbor bonuses, if I recall, but they don't get the extra harbor bonuses that the first chapters of FE6 gives the enemies. Like chapters 1 through 5 all have that for some reason. Probably another...
That was going to be the other thing that I would remove from like an FE6 balance patch, just because it's clear that that's a bug and your units really struggle these first few maps.
Yeah, and the fact that they have Iron Sword plus Javelin makes them a lot easier to kill. Like, Javelin ones are being weighed down to the point where even someone like Lance, well, to be fair, it's just P plus Lance, can double, or like sometimes my Roy doubles him with the Rapier, and Roy on the guys with the swords does a lot more damage, it feels like. And with the hammer, let's go, 60 hit, all you need.
It's like the best hit rate you'll ever get on the hammer.
Yeah, fortunately for a lot of...
But when we get HP level up.
Yep, worth it. That must be the worst part of this. It's like, at least in FE7, which if you feed a kill to a scrub, you can probably expect like a half-decent level most of the time. But for these guys, it's like, oh, I just fed 4 kills to this scrub, and I got a point of HP for it. Oh my god.
It's like, yeah, because you expect that as you give them levels, they'll be better able to take on the increasingly difficult enemies that you're going to have to deal with.
Yeah.
But half the time you're just getting like absolutely useless stats. Like Lance's most recent level up didn't have strength or speed, and it's like the calves are important, you know, but a level up like that is not useful for Lance. Just strength, you know. Speed would have been nice, defense, skill, anything, but strength is not it.
Yeah, that's a good point, because the enemy growths are probably better overall than Lot or Wade's, for example. Like, they can expect like a point in every stat almost. Every time they level up, basically. I think that's not exactly how it works, but that's what it feels like. So the enemies are going to outskill them faster than they can level up a lot of the time.
Yeah, and because I'm not manipulating level ups, I just have to deal with these FE6 growth rates.
And it looks like you're setting up an XP feeding machine here with the enemy cap reinforcements, because you probably, if you wanted to, you could push through faster with Marcus to get to the boss.
I could.
Like, easy XP, why not take it, right?
Yeah, no, I think I said this in our introduction, is that, yeah, stealing a vulnerary. Is that, like, tactics is pretty lenient, so I will usually choose to grind out reinforcements wherever possible. And these calves are reinforcements.
Yeah, and similarly at the bottom, there's no rush in taking these chests. This Armor Knight doesn't move, so might as well milk him for everything that he has, which includes his vulnerary and probably all the experience he can get, Lot and Blade, with their uses of the hammer. But you can't really like grind on these people because of the combat rank. That's, I think, a big difference between this and FE7.
Right.
You can't just like chip him down.
I can't do that against bosses either. I can't do like the was it the Gordon strat or whatever they call it? You know.
Oh yeah.
With bow breaks, as Kids World told us that we should be doing.
Yes, get the level 20 Gordon going.
Yeah, no, I'm not. That would probably make the combat rank. Well, no, it would make it a lot more difficult to come back from. It might make it impossible if I did it too much.
Yeah, you probably have to make up for it with 1 rounds elsewhere, but that probably means that a unit that has no trouble getting XP, like had no trouble getting to 20, suddenly just has to gobble a bunch of extra XP just to get you maybe 30 extra XP on a scrub. It's probably better to just try to tooth KO as much as you can.
Yeah, so I don't tend to grind bosses unless I literally just don't have the units that can do good damage.
Yeah, because like just
I
like
don't think happens often. But...
Yeah, because just like last chapter, you're phoenixing another Armor Knight boss that I think you can like 3-shot with an Armor Slayer from Deke or Marcus, and it's the best it's going to get. And,
right.
And then maybe you can feed it to a scrub, but usually that's like, if you're lucky enough that they end up at 1 HP, then you can maybe throw a hand axe at them for the kill, but even that is not very likely.
Yeah. And by that point, there's not usually a lot of other units left on the map, so you can't really manipulate that hit to happen.
Yeah.
By doing things in a different order.
And I think the boss is like the tiles adjacent to him are not pillars you can stand on. There's just like
they're not.
They're flyer obstructing pillars somehow. So
the best you could do is like one range unit and then 2 or 3 like long range, but javelin's not going to do much. Bows aren't going to do much.
Yeah.
The only person who might be able to do anything is Lou, and he is not getting over here.
Yeah, I was about to say, if only we had one of those guys. I feel like you could have almost made it here in the time it's taking us to do this, but I'm sure you considered it like, yeah, it's too many tiles, like 5 move at a time with a bunch of forests. Like the top of the map is 1 tile wide, right? Like you can't move around these forests.
Yeah.
So
I also don't want to trigger the calves to come toward him, because then that just means it takes longer to finish the map.
Yeah, that means Boris has to fight more. Can't have that. Alright, we pick up the gold. A lot of more chests with gold in this game, because I think sometimes you get gems, I guess. But a lot more like liquid gold to be found here.
Ton more.
Yeah. In
general, this game is very lenient with treasure chests. Some maps just have absolutely insane amounts of treasure, and that doesn't really happen in FE7.
Oh, Ellen's almost out of heals. Good thing you got that mend, I guess.
Yeah, it's on Relenus, but yeah.
Okay, so you were waiting for more calves to come out, making sure that they couldn't gank on like Roy, and Deke just gets a 1 round. Wow.
Yeah,
it's not
pretty
bad.
Easy. It's not like anyone else was going to do anything except maybe Marcus. I'm not trusting hammer hit rates there. So.
Yeah, Marcus starts
Strength and speed on Deke is nice.
with Marcus starts with these swords, I think. Just he can't use the hammer at base, but he can use the armor slayer, so that's useful.
Right, but just trying to avoid. I'm not completely avoiding giving kills to Marcus, but just because I have so many scrubs that I have to level up, it makes more sense to give it to Deke here.
Absolutely, and Marcus, I think the boss kill experience for Marcus is pretty bad. I remember in FE6, it's like maybe 30 from a boss. It's pretty low. It's not worth it at all.
Yeah.
And it looks like, I guess we can, just kill this cav and seize, I guess, because you got all the treasure, you got the armor knights at the bottom.
Yep, and there's no more reinforcements. So I don't get a lot of support formations at the end of the chapter, but that's okay.
Yeah, supports are hard to build, I think, especially between one-range units, because Alan and Lance are often near each other and sometimes attacking the same enemy, but if they're using one-range weapons, they can't attack the same enemy while building supports.
Right.
And you don't want to use javelins because they suck. So, what do you do?
Die.
Yeah, that's an option.
Suffer.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. That's why we're here, isn't it? Alright, cool. Well, that's chapter 3. Well played. Next time, really hard chapter. Looking forward to it. See you next
Alright,
time.
sounds good.